Hello. So, let us come back, or maybe you're just pressing the button and you don't have to move. But I'm coming back down onto my bottom. So, if you're on the block, fantastic. You can be using that for your lower back. I want you to just sit, if you can, with the soles of your feet together. Sitting nice and tall, shoulder blades back and down. Just take your hands just to your ankles, or just onto the side of your calf. We're just going to rock the pelvis. So we are curling. I'm wearing all black, you know, and you just realise you can't really see my body moving, but I'm curling my body in and then I'm lifting up. So hopefully you'll see my shadow moving. So curling in, lifting in. And I'm breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. So nice and steady. Just bringing a bit of movement into the lumbar spine. Let's just have two more. Last one. And then I want to sit nice and tall with the soles of my feet together. I want us to take a moment to become conscious of our pelvic floor. So remember that U-shaped belt that goes from the back of the bottom all the way around. Think of it as 1, 2, 3. I want you to contract that 1 at the back, that 2 in the middle, and that 3 at the front. So we've got that pelvic floor connection. Once you've got that pelvic floor connection, I want you to focus on your belly button. I want you to focus on drawing that belly button in towards your spine so you can feel tension, but you can also move freely, you can breathe freely. It's not like we're posing for a beach photo or we're sucking everything in. We want to be able to move. So there's tension there, but you can breathe comfortably. Our shoulder blades are back and down into the spine. And all we're going to do is just gently press on the knees. Very gently, just gently pressing, opening up the hips and the pelvis. So let us take some nice deep breaths in as we do this. In through the nose, out through the nose, in through the nose, out through the nose. 3 more. Last one. Now very gently lifting the knees. We're going to come over onto all fours. So as we come over onto all fours, we pop our block to the side. Hands are going to be just in front of the shoulders. Toes tucked under. We're going to push into our down dog. So nice and steady. Hands just in front of the shoulders. Fingers spread out. Core nice and strong on the edge. Toes tucked under. We're just going to briefly go up for a moment. We take a deep breath. As exhale, push up. Remember, I've still got my broken toe on the right side, so my right foot's not going to be doing fully what it should be doing. So look to the left. That's this leg. That's the good leg. That's doing what it should be doing. So take a deep breath. Exhale, come down. As you come down, shoelaces to the floor. Take your bum back into child's pose. Just for a moment. Breathing in deep. Letting the head. Now, we don't want to flop the head down to the floor. We want it to sort of like our ears to be resting by the side of the shoulders and the side of the arms. If you can get your head to the floor, but you're not dropping it, there's no crease in the back of the neck, then great. If your heels are on the bottom, or if your bottom is on the heels, great. But it doesn't matter if it's not. Mine's not. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, come forward, tuck the toes under. Let's push back through to down dog again. Pushing up, head down between the arms. Feet are hip distance apart, but if they need to be a little bit wider, that's absolutely fine. You're shooting that bottom up towards the stars. Super, super proud. Head relaxed. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, knees come down. Shoelaces go down. Child's pose again. Release there for a moment. Holding that stretch. We're going to come to that down dog. One more time. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, come forward. Hands in front, fingers spread out, toes tucked under. Take a deep breath. Exhale, bottom to the moon. Push it up. Head relaxes. Hold it there. Pushing the heels towards the floor. But it doesn't matter if they're not there, remember. Nice and steady, taking a deep breath, let the head relax, shoulder blades drawing together. We're going to walk our hands back and come into forward fold position. So we take a deep breath. As I said, we bend our knees, we walk our hands back, we come into a forward fold position. Our knees are nice and soft, and if you're fortunate like me that there's a chair behind you, you can even cheat and rest your thigh on the back of the chair. So arms are hanging, head's relaxed. Remember, our head weighs between about 10 and 14 pounds. It's the heaviest part of our body. It's always going to be the last part of the body that we want to bring up. We have our knees bent, so it takes the pressure out of the back extensor muscles that are coming down, okay? And if we've got lower back issues, we definitely want our knees bent. Hands are relaxing on the floor, pelvically engaged, abdominally connected. We're going to slowly roll up. So we take a deep breath. As exhale, we're slowly rolling up. We're tucking the tailbone under. Head's going to come up last, remember. Tucking, lifting the spine. One vertebrae at a time. Come in up. Shoulder blades, back and down. And we are up in Tadasana mountain pose. So now we are up nice and steady. I'm going to walk into the center of my mat. So I come forward. I want you to bring your feet so that they're hip distance apart. So remember, if you're not sure how to get hip distance, I'm just turning towards you. You can bring your feet together, you can turn them out to a 5 past 2 and a 5 to 2 like Mary Poppins, then turn your heels out and you've got that hip distance apart, okay? So I'm turning back to the side so you can see what I'm doing. So we are going into intense chair pose, which is very much like a monkey squat, and you're going to be holding it. Now you can have your arms up or you can take them out. Remember, if you've got shoulder issues, you can keep them down, that's absolutely fine. So we're going to take our hands up. As you exhale, bring them into prayer. Rest the full into the sternum. Take a deep breath for me. As you exhale, let's push our bum back, coming into intense chair pose. Now we've got our feet slightly apart. You can do this with your feet together, but today we're doing it with our feet slightly apart. So core is strong, tailbone tucked under. We're nice and strong. With each deep breath, as you exhale, we're going to come down a little bit. We're going to hold. Nice and strong. And again, we're going to take a deep breath. We're going to come a little bit lower again and hold. Now I'm trying not to sandwich the body. It should be the lower part of my body that's coming down. One more time. Now from here, we're going to go straight back into that forward fold, but you've got to listen as we go. So we take a deep breath, exhale, come up, arms in prayer still, come up above the head, as if you are diving off a springboard. We bend the knees, hands come back in prayer above the head. We come over as if we're diving off a springboard, knees stay bent, hands come down to the ankles. We lift the chin, we lift the chest, looking forward, but knees are still bent, looking forward. And relaxing it down, letting it happen. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Then very gently taking the hands back to the ankles, lift the head, lift it, look forward, keep the knees bent as it does so. Sorry, I should put the clip back in my hair, shouldn't I? And nice and steady, let it relax. Staying in that position, I'm just grabbing my hair clip so it's out of my face. Stay in that position so you're hanging down. Core is nice and strong. Let's get this hair out my way so I can see you. So we are just hanging. One more time. Hands to the ankles. Lift the chin, lift the chest. Then let it relax. Core is engaged. Abdominal belt is engaged. Nice and steady. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, slowly roll up. Tucking the tailbone under. Slow and controlled. Coming up. Nice and steady. Let's do that chair again. So this time, inhale up. Hands to prayer. In from into the sternum. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, push your bum back. Come back. Hold it here. I'm going to turn to face you. So nice and steady. Holding it there. So nice and steady. Take a deep breath. Go deeper, take a peek down. Can you see your toes? Remember, we want to be seeing the big toe, little toe sinking into the ground. I know, like on my foot, this one's a bit dodgy because I can't put my weight fully in there, but both feet want to be sinking down. They're the roots of your trees, they're your foundations, they're going down and strong into the ground. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Nice and strong. And again. Take a deep breath. Exhale, you're coming up, you're diving off that springboard, the arms go up, and then we bend the knees and we come over, and the knees stay bent as we hang in that forward fold. Head comes down, hands come to the floor, knees are bent, hands come to the ankles. We lift, the head looks forward just in front of the body, and we let it relax. Breathe in deep, and again, lift, look forward. And relax. Last time, lift, look forward, keeping the knees soft, people. Relax. Get ready to roll up. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, slowly roll it up. Slowly, 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 slowly. And relax. Not sure that clip's helped much, has it? So nice and steady. Take your legs nice and wide for me. So take your legs nice and wide. So when we look down at the feet, what we want to see is that the toes are level and that they're pointing out to the corners of the room. Now you can use your block or a hardback book or a few blocks for this next exercise if you wish. So I'm just going to grab my block. So what we can do is have our legs nice and wide and just take our block in front of us. So our toes are level, facing out to the corners of the room. We inhale up. Swan dive. Bring your hands to the block or the hardback book. So it could be on its side. If it's a book, you're going to have it flat on its back probably, or you can bring your hands to the block. Let the head relax there for me. We're trying to keep the legs as straight as we can. It's always going to be a little bit of softness in the knees. We don't want them jarred out. And we're just holding that wide forward fold. We're breathing deep. Pelvic floor is engaged. Abdominal belt is in place. Nice and steady. Hold it there for me. Hold it there. So letting the head relax. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take that block, we're going to take it across. We're just going to walk both hands across and again place them. If bringing them this onto the block is too low, we can have the chest a bit lifted, making sure you've got that connection. You can have one hand on the thigh, definitely no on the knee, but you can have your hands on the thigh, chest a little bit lifted, or you can have one hand on the shin and one hand on the thigh and just hold it. Just so you've got that slight rotation to one side. You don't have to be all the way down here, and I apologise for not mentioning that sooner. So nice and steady, holding it there. And then we walk it back to the centre. Walk it back to the centre. So lots of hanging today, lots of hanging. And you may find that as you get more comfortable that actually you don't need the block or the book. You could just place your hands on the floor, let the elbows be a little bit soft and hold that position. You know, your body is your body. You know it better than anyone else. You've got to go with what feels right, what feels comfortable. And then let's take that block across again. Walk the body across. You've got that little bit of a rotation going on. Remember, we can rest on the blocks. We can rest on the thigh. Lift the chest a little bit if you are. Make sure it's not on the knee joint. Or I can have one hand on the shin, one on the thigh. And just holding it nice and strong in the core. Eyes are looking down. We're not flopping the head down. There's no crease in the back of the neck. We're keeping it nice and strong. And you might find one side, so you'll feel this in your hamstrings, you might find one side is tighter than the other. That's not unusual, don't worry. I know at the minute, like, I can really feel this on this side, but I'm overcompensating on my left side with everything at the moment. So my right side's not brilliant. So nice and steady. Take a deep breath, bring it back to the center. Now, hands either resting on your block, or you could have them on the floor, whatever's comfortable. Nice and steady. We're going to roll up, and it's really important the pelvic floor and the abdominal belt is engaged, and that the head comes up last. So we take a deep breath. As exhale, slowly begin to roll up. Nice and steady. So controlled. I have no idea what's going on with my hair where I've clipped it. Walk the feet in. So nice and steady. We're going to move on to our balance exercise. So standing with your feet together for me, I want you to stand with your feet together, lift your toes up, place them down into the floor so they're nice and rooted. I'm going to start with my left leg, because, well, it's my right leg, but I'm mirroring you. So we're going to bring the leg across the body. Now, we've got different options here. We could bring it and rest the big toe on the floor. We could rest it across the shin, or we could rest it above the knee. And I'm cheekily using my wall to support me as well as I demonstrate this, so I apologise. My naughtiness and balance here today. But basically, this leg wants to be above or below the knee joint, not on the knee joint. And it's not tree, so it shouldn't be at the side of the calf, it's across the shin. So it's either across the shin, big toes resting on the floor, it's just above the floor, resting on the shin, or it's above the knee and it's resting above the knee. So just moving a little bit away from the wall. So nice and steady, we take it into position. So then we bend the knees, bring your hands into prayer, and we're in standing half lotus. And I'm just going to change my position so you can see what I look like from a side angle. So remember that big toe could be on the floor across the shin or above the knee. I'm pushing my bum back and I'm holding nice and strong. Pressing those roots of the feet. So those roots of the feet, core strength is activated. Working from the foundations up. And the foundation's going down into the ground. The core is strong. Staying there for me, breathing deep. Staying there, I'm just changing direction again. Now as you're doing this and you're holding it, you say it's falling over. I want you to take a few breaths out through the mouth. So we're going to breathe in. I'm going to go 4 more. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Gently bring it up. Ooh. And just easy peel it out. I'm just falling all over the place today, aren't I? So when we're easy peeling, we should be keeping our hips level, shoulders level. I just feel like at the minute with my toe, I'm like this all the time on one side of my body. So nice and steady. So what we do one side, we must do the other side. So I am going to cheat this time. I'm going to put my body against the wall because I don't want to put any weight into that foot. So nice and steady. So that foot should be firmly pressed into the floor. Big toes, lift them up, feet together, lift them up, place them down. Remember, we can take the big toe and rest it on the floor. We could rest it across the shin, or we could rest it above. So nice and steady. We're going to take it into position. I'm going to go for that first option this time. Bring our hands into prayer. Take a deep breath. Take a seat. So nice and steady, controlled, core is engaged. Stay there for me again. I'm just moving to the side so you can see that angle. So as if I'm just resting my bottom on a bar stool. And I'm holding it there. Stay there for me. Nice and steady, nice and strong. You can do this. So again, whilst you're holding that position, I want you to do that breath just 5 rounds for me. So we're going to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. 4 more. 3 more. Last 2. Last 1. and relax. Gently come out of that pose and relax. Easy peelers, again, just peel and then let us just rotate the ankles. So rotate one way. Ooh, that was a good one. Rotate the other way. And then do the same with the other side, because we've done, forgetting I can't move my foot properly. And then rotate in the other direction. And then relax. We're going to come to the end of our mat, but with the length of the mat behind us, and we're going to go back down onto the floor now. So, feet together, tailbone under, shoulders relaxed. Let's inhale up towards the ceiling. And as we exhale, as if we're diving off, hands come down to the floor. Take a big lunge with your right leg back, hands flat to the floor, then the left. Come into down dog, bottoms up, head relaxed between the arms. Hold it there for a moment. Really proud of our bottoms, pushing those heels towards the floor, opening up into the hamstrings, the calves, the glutes, the lats, really opening up so much in down dog. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, come down onto your knees. Let your knees go wider than your tummy. Big toes together, so you come into that shell position. Remember, if shell is uncomfortable, we can keep our knees and our feet in shoelaces, knees facing forward. That's absolutely fine. I'm just going to take my cushion, place it under that foot. It's having a moment. So then very gently take it back. Take it back. Let it relax. Now let the arms relax. So let the tummy come between the thighs. Let us breathe again. That breathing in through the nose. Out through the mouth. 4 more. Last 2. Last one. And I really find that it's like a cathartic kind of breath as well. It just really helps release anything that feels stagnant. You can be as noisy or as quiet with it as you so wish. So let us just hang here for a moment. Let us just hang here for a moment, just enjoying that shell stretch. Tucking your tailbone under as much as you can. Letting the head relax. Breathing deep. Let's move that cushion out of the way. A cheeky way to rest my foot. So nice and steady, holding it there. Now take a deep breath. As you exhale, you're going to very gently come up. As you come up, you're going to come over onto your front. I'm going to face you, you're going to face me. So, I'm just plopping the block and the cushion to the side. So with this next one, we're going to do frog pose. Sometimes people can find this uncomfortable on your knees. So you could roll your mat over, or if you had 2 cushions, you could place them underneath your knees. So what we're going to do, I'm just thinking of my angle, I don't know where I've got the camera as far back as I can take it, you see. So you're going to take your knees a hip distance apart. You then turn your feet out like a frog. You're then going to come down onto your forearms, and you can see my bum is up in the air. I'm interlocking my hands, and my eyes and nose are looking down to the floor. So I'm not dropping the head, I've got my eyes looking down. I'm nice and strong. I take a deep breath in, and as I exhale, I begin to push my bum back and down. Now, some people are going to find this really easy because they're going to be really flexible in the hips. Others might find this like really uncomfortable because it's about releasing the tightness in the hips. So if you're spending a lot of time sitting down, or you have lower back issues, you'll have tight hips. So I find this unpleasantly satisfactory. So I can't say it's the nicest feeling in the world, but it does feel like it's opening up. I can feel the muscles being stretched. I'm not in pain. It's just not that lovely either. So we're taking a deep breath. As we exhale, we're pushing back that little bit more, and we hold. We hold. And again, take a deep breath and push. Keep those eyes looking down. Remembering not to let that crease in the back of the neck. I know I just did a moment there where I realised I was just dropping my head. I'm not perfect. Take a deep breath, push back that a little bit more. Holding it, using your breath. And this is tough on the knees as well. So if at any point you think, oh, this is hurting my knees, come out of it, please do. Take a deep breath. Let us slowly come forward. Letting the chest come forward. Nice and steady. Once you come back to all the way back to the beginning where you started, then lift onto the hands very gently. Walk the feet in, come over onto your bottom very gently, and just sit in easy pose just for a moment. So sit in easy pose, just rock the pelvis. So remember, if you can't sit cross-legged, just take your legs wide. That's absolutely fine, excuse me. So nice and steady. So just rocking back and forth. And then sit tall. As you sit tall, what I want you to do is take the bottom leg, take it underneath, and take the other leg over the top. So I don't know, when I'm looking at this on the camera, the iPad, as I can see it, I can't really see my leggings, the differentiation between my legs. So, but you're taking, so the leg that was underneath in your cross-leg position, leave that underneath, take the top leg. So you've now got both bum cheeks want to be on the floor, but the legs are crossed over. Okay, sitting nice and tall, hands either side. Take a nice deep breath and then walk it forward. So we're not curling, we're lifting, we're drawing the shoulder blades, we're placing them into the back pockets. The chest is nice and open. We take a deep breath. We come a little bit further forward and we hold. And we take a deep breath and we walk and we hold. Nice and steady. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, slowly come up. We need to change over. So that leg that was on the top, we take it now underneath, and we take that leg that was underneath, and we take that and place it over the top. And again, we want both bum cheeks on the floor. You might find both feet are on the floor, you might find one's not quite on the floor. That's okay. So the most important thing is that those bum cheeks are on the floor. Hands nice and wide, shoulder blades in the back pockets, breathing nice and deep. Let's take a deep breath together. Exhale. Hold it there. Remember, all the time those shoulder blades are in the back pockets. We're not curling the chest into the body. We're pulling the shoulder blades back and down. Chest is opening nice and strong. So let's take a deep breath again. Walk it forward. Hold it there. One more time. Come back nice and tall. Take the soles of the feet together again. Gently push down. Palms open. Shoulder blades back and down. Now we're going to do a silly breath here. Say a silly breath. I wouldn't normally do it in this position, okay, because it's called lion breath, and normally we've had to have our legs behind us and our shoelaces to the floor. Because my foot, I'm going to do it in this position. So shoulder blades are back and down. This time what we're going to do is going to breathe in, and then you're going to breathe out, And it's because, like, obviously you're at home. I don't know whether you're doing this or not. So if you think, Gemma, you're having a laugh, I'm not going to do that. That's absolutely fine. What we're going to do is breathe in. This is really good for letting go of tension, anything that's been annoying you, okay? So if your husband's been snoring, child's been playing up, you've run out of chocolate in the house or gin, whatever it is, this is like a release. So we breathe in. And when we breathe out, we're going to hang our tongue out and we're going to like, ha! So make a kind of like scary release breath. So it's a, ha! Ha! You might start laughing. Ha! 2 more. Ha! Last time. Ha! And relax, and hopefully, it just makes me feel giddy. I'm such a child. But hopefully it just shifts things. So with that in mind, we're now going to move into our relaxation. So I'm going to end this part and then we're going to go down the floor. So stay where you are because I'm going to transition you down. So hopefully if you've got your computer, you can just like tap it and move it forward. So I have to come up and just pause. Ooh. And then I will start up again.